solid. Primarily dark jerseys and socks. They can still wear white shorts if they need be. Alright, dark means it contrasts with white. Okay, so anything other than white. It does not have to be solid. The visiting team is white. That means their jerseys are to be all white except for their numbers. Their socks are to be all white. Their shorts can be any color. Alright? Please be aware of the captains, okay, where the bands are located. That should not be an issue. If you notice a problem with jerseys, you want to notify me so that I can notify Ben Nelson. And then he will get in contact with the state should the problem persist. But that is your way, according to the rule book, of notifying the state association. So player A is now the home team. They're required to wear the dark colored jersey, clear contrast to white, and dark socks. Player B is a part of the visiting team and is required to wear an all-white jersey. 411D allows for visible undergarments to be worn if they are of similar length and are of solid color. They do not need to match the jersey. So if they have an undergarment on, okay, we have a team that's in blue, and player number 2 has a white undergarment that is long sleeved. And player number, both sides have to be long sleeved. Player number 3 has an undergarment that is white, and both of them are short sleeved. That is acceptable. When they say similar length, they're talking about both arms or both legs. If we're talking about underneath the shorts, have to be the same length. They do not have to be the same length from one player to the next, and they do not have to be the same color as the jersey, but all of the undergarments have to be the same color for all members of the team. So player number 4 shows up with a red undergarment, they cannot wear it. Okay? The thought was if you choose one color, you can wear it for both your home and your away, and it shouldn't be a huge expense on the part of players and or teams. So if everybody chooses white and or gray, it makes it real easy. Questions on that? Matt?
Because of warm-ups, you don't see everything until it's presented at kickoff. So a substitute comes in, if you're backing a substitute in and they're wearing a different color,
Keep them off.
Send it back to the bench.
Yep, send them back to the bench.
Okay.
Tell them you either got to change it or take it off. Try to catch it before the game starts, if possible.
So that's Steven, is that player properly legally equipped?
This? Yes.
And then what Matt just said. So get back to the player on, and the colors are different, and you can't, you have to send them back off.
I would just send them off. Okay? So, required undergarment. Any undergarment worn by players must be of a solid light color. Alright? So, player picture A shows the home team members wearing light color undergarment. That's fine. They're both blue. Player B shows the visiting team wearing the all-white jersey, the socks with blue. Alright? In this instance, A is illegal because we have blue undergarments for the legs and white undergarments for the arms. Not the same solid light color. Player B is fine, or picture B is fine, even though one has long sleeve and the other one has shorter sleeve. They are the same length for both arms. Player C is illegal. They're not the same length. Player D is okay. One compression sleeve may be worn. Questions on that? Okay. Wearing of head coverings or wraps, if the criteria is meant for medical and cosmetic, they have to have a state waiver in order to play. If they don't have the waiver from the state, they don't play. It's got to be approved by the state association. You have a nose ring or an earring for medical purposes. Doesn't matter if they have the doctor's note. It's got to be waived by the state association. When you talk about the head coverings, or if it's for medical and or religious reasons.
So for religion, even for religion. it has to
Even
have
for
the same-
religion, they have to have the state waiver. Okay? So player A and player B, both items would be legal. Okay? And both A and B wearing a head covering will require appropriate documentation showing the state waived it, but it's legal if they have that waiver. Rule 812 simply allows the kicker of a kickoff, because last year they were allowed to kick the ball backwards. That allows the kicker to stand on the opposing side of the field to kick the ball backwards to teammates. So there's the picture. So A1 can now be in the other side of the field to play the ball backwards to either A2, A3, A4, or A5.
Now, since they don't have to play, since they can play it forward,
Yes.
can they be standing there and have somebody tap it to them?
No. The kicker,
Right.
if you read the rule, it says the kicker is allowed to be in the opposite end of the field. They're not the one kicking, they can't be over them. Any other questions concerning that rule change? Yes.
So if they do that, what's the result? If they do it illegal,
If they do it illegally, they simply re-kick. Okay? Clarifies that a player in an offside position who becomes involved in active play must be penalized. Alright? Involved in active play means they interfere with the defensive person or they receive the ball. Okay? So offsides is more than just being in the offside position. A2 is in an offside position at the time the ball is played, comes back, receives the ball in their own half of the field. But at the time the ball was played, they were in an offside position. That person is offsides, and the restart is the spot where A2 touched that ball. Okay? They can't come back on sides after the ball is played, and you deem them that they're on sides because they were in their own half of the field. They were offsides at the time the ball was played. Clarifies the penalty for a player who denies an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. All right, so 12.8.1F. Player B1 while attempting to play the ball. Ooh. Don't know what happened with that. Player B1 while attempting to play the ball trips the attacking player A1 in the penalty box, denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. The referee awards the opponent's penalty kick and issues a caution to B1 because they were attempting to play supposedly within playing distance of the ball. Okay? It's a regular trip. It would not have been cardable beforehand. Did I go too far? Did I skip one?
Yep.
Player B1 with no attempt to play the ball trips the attacking player. Okay, the ball is clearly away from the offensive player. A1 is inside the penalty box, denied an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. Referee awards a penalty kick and issues a red card to B1. Questions, comments, discussion? Okay, the difference between the two was the distance, okay? Whether they were even close to playing the ball or not.
Does this apply to the goalkeeper also?
It can,
Same rule applies, right?
yep. Player B1, with no attempt to play the ball, trips the attacking player A1 outside the penalty area, but it's still an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. Still, clearly, not in playing distance of the ball, trying to play the player Okay, the referee will give a direct free kick. It's not a penalty kick because it's outside the area, but it is still a red card. Okay, if we have players, coaches, or bench personnel enter the field or leave the field without permission from an official, all right, there are penalties for that. There's a free kick. Okay? So player, coach, or bench personnel enters or leaves the playing field without permission and interferes with play, or an official shall be penalized with a direct free kick from the point of the infraction. So the coach comes out in the field, grabs the ball, okay? If he starts yelling at you, you can card him as well. All right, it's going to be a direct free kick from that spot. If the same individual comes out onto the field but does not interfere with play, and it's not a play-on situation, then it is an indirect free kick. Okay? And that's 13.2-3. All right? Now, obviously, if that coach comes out on the field, all right, I'm probably going to issue a card as well for something like that. They didn't grab the ball, didn't interfere with play, nonetheless came out of the field without your permission, okay? That will be an indirect free kick to the opposing team. Deliberate act. Finds a deliberate act which provides guidance for interpretation of rules that contain the word deliberate or the phrase of deliberate act. Reflex is not a deliberate act. Okay? I know in the past.
Can you let the other one just put a clarification question? So, the restart, whether they interfere with play or don't interfere with play, the restart is always the point of the infraction?
Yes.
It's not the point of interruption for the one that they don't interrupt with?
Point of the infraction.
I thought it was. I'm sorry. I thought it was where the ball was. If they don't interfere with play, it would make sense. It's where the ball was when you stopped it.
Oh.
Because you think about it, the player could be going in and attacking on
Right.
the goal, and the coach should come out on the other side of the field.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. They must
So it
have
should be an indirect kick from the spot where the
Spot
ball was.
where the
if they
ball
don't
was.
interfere.
Okay,
Yes.
that's the difference between,
Yes.
one's direct, one's indirect, but it's also where you.
Right. Yep.
Okay. I'm sorry. I
That's all right.
thought actually.
Spot.
Okay. Any other questions, clarification?
That's what it says. The point of the infraction is where he comes on the field. Yeah, we're not going to take away, we'll call it.
You're not going to take away, right, you're not going to take away any damage.
Call play on and come back to card.
Right. What's it say in the rule? I don't have a rule book. Point of the infraction, right?
Point of the infraction.
Mike's got it in the book here.
Point of the infraction, right?
Yeah, for a direct kick.
Right.
Or if it was an indirect, if it was they didn't bother anything.
They didn't specify?
It would be where the ball was.
Where the ball was? Okay. So I'll make sure I catch that with the coaches. Okay? All right.
So that's wrong. You should tell them to change their ballot.
Yeah, well, they're not going to change that now. Anything else? All right. Deliberate act. All right. They actually went over this in fairly decent detail. The person is not set up in the lineup, and it's a girls' game or a guys' game, and they go up like this at the last minute to protect themselves. That's not deliberately playing the ball. That's deliberately protecting themselves. They do the same thing down here. That's as a reflex action. You are not going to penalize that. If during that process they do something, that's something different. All right? Okay? They bump the ball up. Okay? They swat the ball away instead of just holding like that. That's something totally different. That's not a reflex action. Okay? It's got to be deliberately playing the ball.
Turning the torso.
Turning the torso,
The Dutch, and it goes off the shoulder and right to a player.
that's nothing. Okay? So a deliberate act is one in which a player chooses to act regardless of the outcome of that action. Okay? So if it glances off of her head and she was not attempting to head the ball, that's different than if she jumps in the air and heads that ball, in terms of judging the ball to be offsides. Okay? So if she goes like this and it glances off and goes to that player, we have offsides. If the player in the middle jumps up and it goes off her head, you do not have offsides. Questions? If you are in doubt, it's not deliberate. It's got to be deliberate on both her part and your part. If you're not sure, it's not deliberate.
If they're blocking the shot, that's deliberate.
If you're blocking the shot, it's deliberate. Now, if they're blocking the shot like this, and it would have hit them anyway, I'm probably not going to do anything. Religious medals, symbols have to be taped. That goes for medical alert bracelets as well. Players are allowed to tape to their bodies, under their jersey, religious symbols. Denying, they're just talking about the same problem again, obvious goal scoring opportunity. We've got deliberate handball in the penalty area. Guys going to deliberately stop a goal from scoring. It's on the way into the net. The ball goes off the kid's hand and goes into the net. You've got a goal and a yellow card. If the kid stops the goal, it's a red card. If the ball goes in the net and you've blown the whistle before it crossed the line, you just bought that kid a red card because you can't allow the goal. So you need to be slow with your whistles. It's had to happen. Had both situations happen in the same game last year. The kid that got the red card yelled at the kid that got the yellow card, because the kid that got the yellow card did it the first time. Can't make that up. Don't you know you could have gotten a red card if that hadn't gone in? 5 minutes later, he catches the ball. He was walking off the field before I even had my cards out. Says, I know. All right. Let me see if there's anything else on those. So in evaluating, when you're talking about whether it's an obvious goal scoring opportunity, okay, you need to talk about the distance between where the offense is and the goal. Okay, you've got to be close. You can't be a one-on-one breakaway out near midfield. All right? Probably not going to be an obvious goal scoring. You could do a yellow card, but you're definitely not going to be given a red card out there. General direction of the play, the attacking players are generally headed toward the goal, not out of the corner, out towards midfield, and then the likelihood of keeping or gaining control of the ball. When we judge whether it's an obvious goal scoring opportunity, we have to take all those into account.
Also number of defenders.
Huh?
Number of defenders.
Number of defenders, yep. Like that plays into the likelihood of keeping or gaining control of the ball. Okay? You've got 3 defenders in between you, all right? Man may not be obviously goal scorer. And there's your location and number of defenders. I thought it kind of played into the same spot. All right? If any of the above if any of them, not all of them, if any of the above considerations are missing, it's not obviously goal scorer. Again, judgment. That's judgment. All right? Ball clearly within distance. Penalty area, we got PK, yellow card. In the second one before, we talked about the ball was farther out in front.
So Donnie, let's go back one
Yep.
scenario where the ball was close enough. If the player grabs like the jersey from behind and yanks him down, would that change?
Yes.
It would, okay.
Yep.
You're not playing the ball,
That's a red
you're
card.
playing the player.
You're not even attempting to play the ball. Okay? That's a red card. Let me see. Excess player substitutions. In many instances, we have excessive substitutions towards the end of the game in an effort to waste time. In some instances, that can help us out. If the score is 10-0, please do not penalize a coach for excessive substitution. Okay? If we have a one-goal game and we feel that that is going to be the play, I would verbalize, I would discuss things with the coach prior to assessing the penalty. So it's according to Rule 3-6, the referee has a discretion to stop the clock during substitution. Oop, too far back. Okay, according to Rule 3-6, referee has a discretion to stop the clock during the substitution so that this time is not lost. Further, the referee may consider this unsporting conduct and a caution may be issued. I would stop the clock and warn the coach first prior to cautioning them. Okay? State to them, if you continue to do this, it may be judged as excessive substitution and unsporting conduct, and I can caution you for that. Okay? Once you warn them, then the coach is on their own. Okay? When there are excessive substitutes near the end, the official has the option of stopping the clock to avoid the loss of time. Again, you can talk about unsporting conduct and a caution. Look at the score up there, 4-3. Okay?
And some people start doing it when there's 10 or 5 minutes left. They start doing it.
And you need to look at the score. Like you still play it by ear according to the score. And again, you still need to warn them.
But then you warn them, and then you're gonna stop it every time, correct? You gotta stop it every time after that.
Unless you judge it to be, unless you're sure it's because of
But you're starting with, let's say the coach picks, picks 10 minutes.
Yep.
You warn them at 6.
Mm-hmm.
Because I usually say, now for the rest, I'm going to stop it.
I'm going to
Each
stop
of
the
you
clock.
subbing.
Yep.
If he subs once more in the 6 minutes, I stop it. If he
Yep.
subs 20 times, you
Yep.
stop it.
Yeah.
You don't just warn them, you don't just stop it.
You can stop it multiple times, and you don't have to card it the second time. You can just say, Coach, we'll play this game. If this is why you're substituting, it's not going to work. And he'll stop. If they don't, then card him.
Because, sometimes subs take 2 minutes, and if they do 5 subs in 10 minutes,
Yep. It is critical that players, not just players, it is critical for players and your fellow officials and the coaches know whether it is an indirect or a direct free kick. Okay? You need to make sure you use the proper mechanics. Don't go halfway in between. That's not going to work. It's direct or it's indirect. And make sure your partner is mirroring you. You can actually use the words as well. Make sure everybody, especially if it's down near a goal, make sure everybody knows what you have called. Okay? For the indirect kick, the ball enters the goal directly. The restart is a goal kick, and you better be waving that thing off right away. Don't wait and say, I told you it was indirect, and have a conversation and then walk. Don't be doing it. Wave it off. It's indirect. Okay? Same thing. Ball goes in directly from a free throw, from a throw-in. Wave it off. Make sure everybody knows. Was not touched. If it gets touched by the keeper, then you got something else. Direct free kick, straight out. Indirect free kick, straight up. Don't go halfway in between. Neil?
Yeah, if they kick it in, you never gave a signal, when you re-kick it, right?
Depends on what the penalty was.
You do what you want there.
No, well, the penalty was on the referee.
Yeah,
No, but I'm just saying, if he didn't.
I mean, if you didn't signal, technically you could re-kick it. Good luck.
Does that sound right?
Quick kick.
All right, real quick. Soccer cleats. There are football cleats out there that the Federation has recently come across that some soccer players have bought. They're fine on the bottom. On the top, they have little spikes on the top of them. They are illegal to wear. They are an Adidas brand. They are fire engine red, and they have standard cleats on the bottom, and they look absolutely wonderful. And on the top, they look like reptile points on the right on the whole toe on the top of those shoes. They are illegal. I can't even picture them being legal in football. But the Soccer Federation have already come out and said you are not to allow those kids to play with those shoes. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Tossing the fans, and I will bring this over, so I know some of you didn't make last week's meeting. You are not to toss fans. You are to notify whoever is in charge at the game site, it may be the home coach, which fan you want gone, and they are to take care of it. You are not to address the fan. Okay? You want to go to the site administrator. It does not have to be a member of the administration. It could be somebody that the school district hired as a chaperone. It could be the athletic director. It could be the head coach. And they are in charge of making sure that the fan is gone. Okay? If they struggle with that, you can simply tell them, we're done. We're not playing until that fan is gone. A lot of times that will take care of it on its own. Okay? You are not deciding who wins and who loses. Randy.
You can obviously see it's opponent's fan, they want to get help from there.
Right. Yep. If you know whose fan it is, you can, and you may also want to get help from the opponent's coach. And if you can get a name, that would be better yet, so that we have something to forward to Ben Nelson. But you're not to get into any verbal, which could turn into physical, confrontation with a fan. That is the site administrator's responsibility. Derek.
Is there a chance that the coach will refuse to help you?
Sure. Possibly. If the coach is the person in charge, yep.
What's the procedure?
If it's his fan, he may help. You just end the game and let the league decide it. Right. If it's an opponent's fan, you could seek help from the opponent's coach, but don't you do it. Okay? Shaking of hands. We are not to participate in the formality of shaking of hands. We're witnessing the shaking of hands from the two teams at the end of the contest. Okay? It is the referee, the official who is on the side of the clock, his responsibility to verify the score and grab any gear real quickly. And if you have to meet your partner in the corner on the way off, you are to do that. But you are not to stand and formally observe the shaking of the hands. You are not to participate. If they follow you off, a couple of them catch you, that's fine, but you are not to formally participate in the, what I'll call the ceremonial shaking of hands that we have participated in before. We got reprimanded from the state for not following their order from last year. Okay? So when the coaches come in, I will let them know that this is something what we're not going to do. We're going to recommend that if they want to do that we do it in the beginning of the game. We cannot enforce that. Okay? If they still decide that they're going to do the shaking of the hands at the end of the game, we just won't be there to supervise. Okay? They have had officials that have gotten caught in the aftermath of a game, and they want you off the field as soon as possible. And in the aftermath, everybody got sued. So,
When you go through this with the coaches, you going to mention about if there's a stadium clock, if that's official for the whole match?
That's on my list.
Because at the Hall of Fame, that's going to be a problem.
All right.
Because they always shut it off in the last 2 minutes.
So
Well, why can't, they can do that.
they can do that. We just cannot instruct them to do that.
Oh, they can do that?
Yes.
I'm-
And technically, Gene, there is no home team there.
Okay.
The home team has the right to keep the clock. The home team has the right to keep the clock. Okay? Whether it be visual or not. Okay? Now, if it's not visual and they end the game and you still got 2 minutes and 30 seconds on your clock and you know you're watching and you know yours is right, guess what? If you know yours is right, you can run with it, but you better make sure yours is right. Okay? If it's visible, correct it a couple times if you notice a discrepancy. If the home team voluntarily says, okay, my timer is a first-time official, I want you, first-time clock keeper, I want you to be official, that's fine. And then you can tell them, if you want to instruct your timer, this is an option you have. Okay? If you notice a problem a couple times, then you can instruct them that they have to turn it off. But you got to notice a problem a couple times before you have that authority. Okay? Cards. When you issue cards, the clock is stopped, and you are to notify both coaches, your partner, and the scorebook, okay, of the number, the color, and the infraction, and whether you're giving a yellow or a red card. And you need, if you have a yellow, which turns into a red, because they have a second yellow cardable offense, you need to make sure everybody is on the right page. It is very important that you verbalize those things. Okay? All yellow cards have to be reported to me. All red cards need to be reported to John Cook, Jason O'Donnell, myself, and Ben Nelson. Misconduct form, not the incident report. The misconduct form needs to be turned in within 24 hours. You have Ben Nelson's email, okay, section 4. I think Jeff has forwarded everything. It's at the bottom of the form. He should get that real quick because the schools have the right to appeal. Okay? I don't know if they've ever tried it, but I don't know of any that have worked. The yellow cards have to be reported because we have to know when players get to number 5, because then they have to sit the next contest. This is the only sport where we keep track of all of them. Basketball, you could get a technical foul every game, and there's no penalty there's no necessary penalty enforced by the state. Okay? You do that in soccer with a yellow card, you're going to be in trouble. So make sure I need, for the card reporting, I need the number, the school, the player's name, Don't just tell me certain number from a certain school. The date, whether it was yellow or red, and the infraction. Please do your best to give me the infraction that matches the penalty. Okay? If a player swore at you and you gave him a yellow card, does not look very well. Yellow cardable offense is incidental foul language. If he swore at you, it wasn't incidental. All right? When you if you write up a misconduct form, which means you gave a red card, make sure you use the language in the book that justifies a red card and not is written in the yellow card cautionable section. It happens. And it shouldn't. You guys do not give out individually that many red cards. It takes a few minutes to fill it out. Make sure you do it properly. Makes everybody's lives a whole lot easier.
I wasn't sure if I got all the names for the red cards. Don, Jamie,
Nope.
John.
John, Jason,
Oh, yeah,
Jason.
Jason.
and Ben Nelson.
All right, got it. All right.
And it's on the form as well. Any questions on the cards? Penalty kicks. Please go over the chart in the back of the book that talks about what happens in certain situations with the penalty kicks. You have encroachment, different violations, etc. You need to know that. Penalty kicks in and of themselves are heated situations. Sometimes they will decide games. Okay? Rule of thumb that I like to do. If I'm working two-person, the lead has the keeper, and the trail has the kicker, and everybody outside the penalty area. Give instructions and be clear so that everybody hears what they are supposed to do. Okay? Re-kicks, taking goals away, all of those kinds of things. Just add to the uncertainty and the confusion that goes on with a penalty kick situation. Okay? So the lead needs to take the keeper, and will be the one blowing the whistle to notify the kicker that they can take the kick. Okay? So the lead person should go to the keeper, say you need to keep your feet on the line, you can move laterally, you can't move forward. When you're ready, you nod your head. I will then blow the whistle, notifying the kicker that they can take the kick. Don't look at me when you nod your head. Okay? When you nod your head, when I see you nod your head up and down, when I ask you if you're ready, I will then blow the whistle. Okay? The trail should tell the kicker, put the ball anywhere they want on the line. Wait for my partner to blow the whistle before you start your kick. And then you need to instruct all of the other players that they need to stay outside the penalty area and the circle, and they cannot enter until the ball is touched. Don't run across on the whistle. Whistle does not mean anything to you, just the kicker. That will just diffuse all kinds of problems. Okay? Any questions on the penalty kicks? All right. Anything I need to go over? What time is it? John's turn? Good. John's turn. Thank you.